Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today I gotta give 2 thumbs up to the CEO of Paramount, alright? He came out recently in an interview and he gave us some great news that, in my opinion, could even affect the whole streaming service industry. Let's take a look at what he had to say here. So we're on thehill.com, and here's what the CEO said. Paramount Plus won't censor classic programs with different sensibilities. You just love to see it, folks. You absolutely love to see it. Basically, they will not be censoring their historic stuff in their library. Okay, that's great news. And one of the things I always have to worry about whenever I read stuff like this is that whenever there's a new CEO, like this is what Bob Bakish, he's the current CEO, this is what he says, right? The problem is we get a different CEO every couple of years. Some of them stick around for a long time, some of them don't. We'll get a new CEO and they'll have a completely different take on things. They'll be like, oh no, how we said that thing was never going to happen? Now it's happening. It's happening now, right? It's a different regime change, right? So it seems like for the rest of this guy's tenure here as CEO, Bob Bakish, we will not be censoring Paramount Plus historic stuff. Now, they specifically said historic, not modern. So it seems like if there's like some controversy in a modern day thing, that could be on the chopping block to get censored, right? If something is only about 1 year old, maybe it just gets censored. I don't know. But they specifically do use the term historic. So let's read a little bit here. Very short article. Very short, very sweet. Let's read it. Paramount will not censor content that may be offensive in historic films and television shows on its streaming service, according to The Guardian. In an interview with the news outlet, Paramount CEO Bob Bakish said Paramount Plus, a subscription-based service soon available in the UK. That's interesting. I did not know it was not released in the UK yet, but that's cool to know now. We'll leave classic works as is. Great to hear, folks. Just great to hear. By definition, you have some things that were made in a different time and reflect different sensibilities, he told The Guardian. Bakish added, I don't believe in censoring art that was made historically. That's probably a mistake. You got to give him a round of applause. Thank God, finally, somebody in the streaming service is doing something right, It's like they make 10 mistakes. And then finally we get one win in the streaming service sector. Good God. Yeah. There's just a lot of nonsense that goes on in the streaming service wars, but I'm glad to finally have a win here. Will the others start making these changes where they aren't going to censor things? They aren't going to, stifle their work. Great example, Disney Plus still refuses to release the movie Song of the South. A lot of people like that movie. Even weirdly enough, Whoopi Goldberg. I don't really like her. She's very left-wing. She's on that show. What's that show called? The View or some shit like that. And, even she was like, yeah, as a little girl, I like that I like that movie, Song of the South. Disney should just bring it back. And I weirdly enough, I don't usually agree with someone like her, but yeah, I agree with her. I agree with her. They should probably just bring it back, put a nice little, put a warning in there being like, hey, this was made in a different time, might have some racist annotations, and move on with it. You're stifling your own library because of like what reason? Like what? People can go buy the movie. People can go pirate the movie. We know you made the movie. You can't just hide it in a back alley somewhere. We know it's out there. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Let's keep going. But yeah, Disney, you got to release these films. Like, what do you do? I don't know if they have any other films they're keeping in the back, like with Song of the South, but they should start releasing these things. People already know that they've made some wacky shit in the past. Just let it all out, Disney. Let it all out. And here we go. So that's probably a mistake, like I was reading, and it's all on demand. You don't have to watch anything you don't want to. I really like that. It's like, here's the library. if you think that something might be, a little bit edgy, a little bit spicy, a nice little spicy meatball. If something's a bit too spicy for you, you don't have to watch. You could just stop watching it. You can, you could be like, hey, kids, we're not watching this one. It's a wacky one, and it's just, I love his attitude. It's a very freedom loving attitude here. Just let people explore, and if they find something they don't like, then just leave it alone. Really love that. Bakish's comments come as Paramount Plus, which has already been active in the US, is set to debut in the UK on Wednesday. Pretty awesome. There you go. It's coming to the UK. I think I went over that. Other streaming services have also opted not to remove works with outdated content, including Disney Plus. No, but I think Disney Plus they've censored a whole bunch of shit, right? They definitely censored shit. There was that legendary Lilo and Stitch edit, which instead added content advisories to classic films depicting racist stereotypes. But there was other change. Here's the thing: this article doesn't keep track of all of the different censorships. There was other censorships that weren't just racist related, right? We seen that, like I said, there was a legendary. Oh wait, hold on. Among the films include the disclaimers are Dumbo, The Aristocrats, and Peter Pan. Yeah, I think Peter Pan had the Indian scene. The Aristocrats had the Siamese cat song, and Dumbo had the crows. If I'm just remembering that off the top of my head. But they did censor things like Lilo and Stitch, right? That wasn't covered by racism. Lilo and Stitch censored. There we go. Bam. So you guys might not remember this one. It was pretty famous at the time when it happened. But, okay. It's not the funniest subject, but the way that they did it is laughable. It is a joke and a half. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Every year, and this is very sad, a lot of children play hide and go seek. I myself played hide and go seek as a kid. I probably hid in some very weird places that I shouldn't have hid that might have been dangerous to my health. In Lilo and Stitch, Lilo hides in the dryer. Okay, she hides in the dryer. Yeah, there you go. There's a nice little pit. It's kind of zoomed out, but she does hide in the dryer. Okay, and a lot of people, like I said, a lot of children do pass away. It is dangerous, and they do pass away just from suffocation. And I can understand why Disney wanted to censor this scene, but it's already in the movie. You could just put a disclaimer before. Like I said, put a disclaimer in the other. They mentioned how whenever there was a racist Disney film like Dumbo, they'd put a disclaimer saying how this was made in a different time and it doesn't reflect current day Disney sensibilities or whatever. They could just put a little disclaimer saying, please, do not be inspired by Lilo's hiding spot in the laundry scene. They could put a little, you don't have to edit this. You could just put a little disclaimer, and I think the parents would understand, yeah, okay, we could see this was made a while back, and they probably weren't paying attention to something like this, right? And what Disney did, it is so baffling. A lot of people laugh at it till this day. I'm one of them. It's hilarious. Okay, so they changed Lilo hiding in the dryer to Lilo hiding in a crate, but instead of the dryer door, they replaced it with a pizza box that she was seemingly somehow using to hide for cover. And it looks like a pizza oven. You know what I mean? Look at this crate. Does that look like a crate with a pizza box lid attached to it? Or does that look like a freaking pizza oven? So people are like, Lilo literally went from hiding in a dryer, which was a dangerous place, to hiding in a freaking oven, a pizza oven. So yeah, Disney, this has to be one of the just stupidest, wackiest, and most hilarious censorship changes I've ever seen. It's probably hard to censor something like this because it's there's moving parts and things, and it's what could you really do? Also, it looks so out of place. It's why would a giant crate with a pizza box be next to a freaking dryer? You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's so out of place. But they did it. They actually did this change. It was pretty wild. And it just makes you wonder, what other stupid shit are they going to censor in the future? And I would rather them. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this, but I don't think I need to. You guys know that 6 Dr. Seuss books were actually pulled for actually very minor racism. Like you really had to go looking for it if you wanted to, ban those books and make a justification for it. Some of them maybe more than others, but like most of those books had the most minor levels of racism ever, and they got pulled. And then the books became they became worth thousands of dollars after they pulled them. I remember I did a video and I looked on Amazon afterwards. Almost all the books shot up hundreds of dollars, and like 2 of them were over 1,000. It was wacky as hell. But going back to this article here, we did finish it. I think we talked about a lot of censorship here. I really do hope that all the other streaming services just come together and are like, okay, we see that Paramount Plus, we like this change that they're doing where they're not putting a disclaimer, they're not doing anything, they're just kind of like, here's the library, go explore. I do like that. I kind of don't like the whole, they only say historic stuff, so if something new comes out and that becomes offensive somehow, they will censor it, or they're being very ambiguous here, right? They're not telling us that all content won't be censored. They're only saying historic, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. I kind of wish they would come out and just say, yeah, we're not going to censor anything. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch might be like one of the only examples where you might want to censor something like that or put a disclaimer just because how many children have died from something like that. But like other than that one Lilo and Stitch rarest scenario, I don't think they should really be censoring much of anything. That's my opinion. I'm more on the freedom side, the freedom of speech side here, instead of let's lock down and censor. And yeah, I really enjoyed Bob Bakish's takes here. He just had some really great takes. He really did. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think about this? I think this is great news for the industry. I think they will, maybe not Disney, like I said, maybe not Disney, but some of the other companies might just be like, yeah, okay, we're not going to censor as much as we did, or we're just going to let live and lie, So that's what I hope. I really do. And I want to hear all your thoughts down below. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that they're just going to keep censoring? They're going to put disclaimers and more disclaimers? Will we ever see Song of the South? That's another question we have to ask ourselves. And where do you see the future of streaming go? Do you think they're going to start censoring like modern day stuff that's too edgy? Do you think some of the companies will start doing stuff like that? Let me know down below in the comments. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Bye-bye.